How's it going, everyone? Hope y'all been having a really good Thanksgiving weekend so far. My name is Ward, and welcome back to Sigmas and Gamers. And today, it looks like a recent report that Nintendo takes more risk with prototypes, as mentioned by a Metroid Prime developer. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this article, which starts off saying that we are still waiting for Metroid Prime 4, and yes, that stinks. However, the game's prolonged development is indicative of Nintendo and Japanese companies as a whole, according to former Retro Studios actor Jack Mathews. Mathews, yep. Mathews served as a lead technical engineer on the Metroid Prime trilogy and has been speaking with Kiwi Talkz podcast about their development. And during the chat, Matthew touched upon the key difference between developing for a publisher in the West and in Japan. Nothing that Japanese films are more likely to take risks with prototypes before entering into full production, which is a much more beneficial way to work. And then he, of course, sort of say that a lot of ways that deals with structured is that Western publishers want, and when you're going to a prototype, they want to do an entire long-term agreement of the entire game before you start on the prototype. It ends up negating a lot of what you're doing in the prototype anyway, because you still have to figure out how much the whole thing is going to cost for this thing you really don't know how much about. And Nintendo famously likes to take risks with prototypes. Matthew notes that because many of the company's games are made by internal teams, prototypes are often considered to be, in quotes, sunk costs until a product makes money, he adds. And Nintendo knows that's the right way. It's all about risk and reward, where you put the risk and where you see your reward. And so this approach, according to the former Retro Studio staffer, this is very common in Japan, and where business deals are more informal and handshaking. And in contrast, Western publishers don't tend to trust developers as much. And my phone went off. He says that they're often fearful that a dev might walk away with a prototype and team up with another publisher. As part of the same interview, Matthew also spoke about how he was disappointed by the Wii. Metroid Prime 4 was originally announced in 2017, only for Nintendo EPD General Manager Shinya Takahashi, if I pronounced that correctly, to reveal in 2019 that development has been restarted under Retro Studios. And so yeah, that's going to be that's pretty much all for today. And gotta say, not really anything major news, but definitely was an article that was worth looking over, or especially learning how Nintendo usually takes a lot of risk with their IPs and just come with new ideas and try to apply them to old and new existing IPs. And that's one of the things I do like about Nintendo is that they're always taking risk and trying out something new instead of just constantly milking certain franchises by just copying and pasting and recycling the old formula, just like most AAA studios do, like here in the West with Call of Duty and Battlefield, and many more, or other publishers where it's just like, oh, it's like a new game, but it just feels like the same as the last, and nothing really major changes to it. And honestly, that kind of does get repetitive over time whenever you're milking a franchise. But hey, that sometimes that we have to wait longer for the next entry of a particular Nintendo game series, like Zelda, Metroid, and Mario. Gotta wait for 5 to 10 years for the next entry. At least they're always gonna find something new and unique to try to pull off at the end. And that's one of the reasons why I like Nintendo as a company, despite some of their shady business practices. But they're always making really good products. And that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. And if you found it to be very helpful and informative, then be sure to drop a like as always, and subscribe for more content like this, and hit the bell to be notified when my next video is gonna drop. And if you have your own thoughts or opinions based on this recent article about Nintendo taking risks and all that, then go ahead and sign up in the comment section below and get a discussion going. And thank you so much for watching. And as always, we will catch you all in the next one.